Other questions or comments? Yes?
Well, there's been a lot of talk in the news lately about, one of your least favorite subjects, abortion. And so this leads me to ask if you would support, I know the Republican platform and Governor Romney had slightly different views on abortion for rape victims. So I'd like you to clarify what your position is.
Oh, it's been the same for 20 years. I'm pro-life, with exceptions for life and mother rape and incest. I'm so avidly pro-life that I'm against corporal punishment. It's hard for me to be pro-life and pro-death at the same time. Nobody ever asked me that question for about 8 years. And I was in debate over in Howard County, and Ben Cardin was there, and his opponent didn't show up, so I had my opponent and Ben Cardin both come to attack me. And this question came up about capital punishment, and that ended the debate. They couldn't believe it. I'm a pretty conservative Republican, and I read 2 books in the past. One was, boy, I cannot remember the 2 books I read. 88 Men and 2 Women, the Warden Laws. These were the people executed who used the word things. And the other was One Man's Freedom, Edward Bennett Williams. And in each of those books, there was a big long chapter on corporal punishment and was it a deterrent. And I know of no professional who believes it is a deterrent. And it diminishes me. I'm avidly pro-life. I reverence life. And it just diminishes me.
Thank you for being consistent in the policy.
Yeah, I'm pro-life. I came hard over with Carla Faye Tucker. Remember Carla Faye Tucker? How many remember Carla Faye Tucker? Okay, Carla Faye Tucker was a drug-crazed teenager who was involved in a hideous murder in Texas. And she was in jail. By the way, we plan and plot this execution for it on average 14 years, and no other more premeditated killing in the world than executions in our country. We plan and plot it for an average of 14 years. Carla Faye Tucker became a born-again Christian. She was, in effect, a missionary in the penitentiary, and everybody recognized her. And I woke up the next morning and I said, who in God's green earth is better off today because we killed Carla Faye Tucker yesterday? And so I pretty much came hard over it. Some crimes are so hideous that we're right there. In a bit of anger, I could kill the person. I recognize that's kind of an ignoble reaction to it, isn't it? It's not that they don't deserve to die. It's just that, I'm not so concerned about what it does to them. I'm concerned about what it does to me and to our culture. Yes, ma'am.
But then to go one step further, then how then, if you have somebody that commits a violent, heinous crime, i.e. forcible rape, which results in the pregnancy of the woman who was forcibly raped, what is your position?
Oh, life of the mother, with the exception of life of the mother, rape and incest. Yeah, I've always, that's a mantra, I've said it so often, it just spills out. If you really, there are very few pregnancies as a result of rape, fortunately.
So you agree with that?
Compared to the usual abortion, what is the percentage of abortions for rape? It is tiny. It is tiny, tiny percentage.
There's 20,000 pregnancies every year from rape.
Yeah, and how many abortions? In the millions.
That's 20,000 rapes. That's 20,000 people who are violated.
Yeah, I know.
That's a lot of times. That's 20,000 too many.
Percentage of pregnancy, percentage of abortions for rape as compared to overall abortions, it's a tiny, tiny percentage.
And incest is quite high too, believe me. In Appalachia, we sell it on a daily basis.
Yeah. But again, it's a tragedy for the family and the person, but in terms of actual numbers, it's a pretty small percentage of the total number.
Unless you're the one.
Yeah, most abortions are for what purpose?
Family planning.
Just don't want to have a baby. A second reason for abortions is you'd like a boy and it's a girl, or vice versa. And I know a lot of people are opposed to abortion who are pro.
How many children die every year from child abuse because it's an unwanted pregnancy? I started my career in child abuse, and it was horrible. The research we've done at the University of Pittsburgh showed the #1 reason why people had abused their children is because they were unwanted children. So we need to have greater access to family planning, and yet some people want to defund family planning.
When I ran 20 years ago, I was a teacher, a researcher, a farmer. I built homes. I never had to think about this. And I really had to search my soul to see where I was going to be. And the arguments you were making, I make them myself. There are times when the kind of a life that child is going to have, pretty tough.
But we need to have accessible choices for women so they don't get pregnant. We need to eliminate unwanted pregnancies.
Absolutely, absolutely. You'll find no bigger supporter of that.
Thank you.
That's right. No bigger.
Because of those who want to defund Planned Parenthood.
Yes. Yeah. Other questions?